Welcome, everybody, to the WellWaveNOW show. This is our backstory edition for today, and we wanted to meet Dr. Josie Phillips-Ross. And Dr. Josie and I go back a little ways. She's obviously in the pharmacy industry as a PharmD, but has taken it a little further than just dispensing. So we're going to get excited about hearing more about what she's doing on the wellness and the functional medicine side of pharmacy as a PharmD. But welcome to the program, Dr. Josie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, where did you grow up and what was life like for you as a child?
Yeah, I grew up in Ozark, Missouri, right in between Branson and Springfield. It was a great place to grow up. Lots of outdoors things to do and see, and just had a great experience in childhood.
Did
Ozark
you?
is like right now is like 35,000. So I
Okay.
graduated with like 300.
That's right there near the Lake of the Ozarks, and a lot of fishing, a lot of hunting and stuff in that area. Did you get involved in that as a kid growing up? Did you go
I
fishing?
wasn't a huge, I mean, we went every year for sure, but I was more into softball and basketball and all of those types of things.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Now, did
Siblings?
you? How about the country? Since Branson was that close, and other wasn't that?
Mhm.
Were you a country music person, or were you a?
Oh yeah, big country music. That wasn't until later in life. I always told my mom I would not like country music, but later
How
in
was
life I do love country music now.
was it good country music, meaning pre-2000 country
I
music?
mean, Kenny Chesney. I just saw Kenny Chesney at the Sphere last 2 weeks ago, and it was awesome. He's been
That's
one of
okay.
my favorites.
But no Conway Twitty or
No, no, a little more new aged for sure.
yeah, boy, we should have had you go back to the good old days of country. I stopped listening to country in 2000. Before
Oh
that,
yeah,
yeah,
has a
yeah,
change.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
That
have two sisters and a brother.
okay. So answering the sibling question, yeah. And where
hmm
do you fit in? Are you the bossy older
I'm the
sister, or were you
second one. Yes,
okay?
I'm in charge of everyone. I
In
was always
charge.
the list maker and gave everyone their responsibilities, and I still do that now into my late 30s.
That's awesome. Who influenced you most in your life growing up?
Probably my mother. My mom was a home ec teacher, and a very, very beloved woman. She loves cooking, cleaning. Like she taught us all how to sew, and she's very fun to be around. She made every holiday super fun. Easter egg hunts were scavenger hunts all over, and she makes life fun.
And how else did she influence you?
So she has always been very kind, and she makes it a priority to do 5 kind things a day, and she's kind of instilled that into us, whether it be something simple or even more complex. But she's instilled that us in us for a long time, and then the work ethic. So she owns like 3 businesses, and she's always instilled in us, even while she was teaching. So
Mhm.
she instilled in us, hard work will pay off.
Wow,
Fantastic.
that's amazing. So you mentioned sports. You were into sports. You said softball, I heard. What else?
hmm
Basketball.
Basketball, yeah, those are my 2 main ones.
Okay. What about music? Did you play an
I
instrument?
had a guitar. I wasn't a huge, I was kind of in the era that grew up with Taylor Swift too. So when she was like 14, I was around that same age. And so I took a good run at it, but it just was not for me.
And so on the sports side, what were your positions in softball and basketball?
I played outfield in softball. I loved like pop-ups, and so that was my thing, and I loved hitting. So those are my 2 biggest strengths. And
Do you
then
have a good you
basketball,
have a good arm?
I do. Yep, still do. Definitely considered playing it in college, but I kind of took the more professional route.
And then on the basketball side, what was your position?
I was mostly a guard. I kind of had to choose which sport to play in high school, and so I kind of let go of that one around 10th grade.
And then traditions that you had growing up that you've carried on now with your family.
Yeah, so my mom is huge birthdays. My husband did not celebrate birthdays before before me. And my first one, like we go all out. We go on a trip. We go on, multiple days of presents, multiple because every year around the sun obviously is blessed to be alive. So I think it should be celebrated. And then like Easter is one of our favorite holidays, and Christmas. We typically do a really huge Christmas and lots of games. My mother loves games, so she always incorporates lots of games with the family.
Excellent. So some good childhood memories, and you've carried that on to with your own family. And so you do have a family of your own now. I know you at least have one daughter.
I do, yeah. So I actually live in two states. I live in Ohio and Missouri. And we live part-time in Ohio because I have a stepson in Ohio. He's 11. And then I do have a 3-year-old daughter.
A good span in age there, so you have to have different activities for each child, right?
That is, yeah, that's part of the complicated part with we gotta kind of divide and conquer when we have both.
Yeah, I understand.
And so for people that want to know how to do it, how do you juggle owning your business and running your business and moving into two states? How do you do both of those effectively?
Yeah, I mean, great question. Like my husband travels for work too, so we add that logistics on as well. But I truly like list delegating, like those are two of my top things that have to happen. And I have a great staff that, has taken care of most of that side of things. So yeah, I'm a very productive type of person and I like tons of lists and getting them done. So that's generally how I manage.
Are you one of those that has to have it written down so you can cross it out
Oh yeah.
as an
Yeah. My days
accomplishment?
start with like 100 to-do lists. Like it stresses my husband out. He says he needs one. So he's like, I'll do one thing today.
So
That's
that's a
great.
good lead into your work. So what is the essence of your wellness and health work today? And
Yeah. So
don't rush in there, Dr.
yeah.
Joseph. And what do you personally get out of it?
Okay. So I feel like I should give you the background of 12 years ago, I opened a pharmacy. And that was 2 years out of pharmacy school. And I generally opened because a couple of things. It was in the independent industry was very male driven when I started.
Mhm.
And very like older generation. And so I feel like it would take a new spin on things. And I generally open the doors just to help people. So I would work very long hours by myself and I would deliver free to patients and like ask them how I could help them take out their trash. Like that's how I really got to bond with these patients and how I got my name out there. I
No, so
really
wait a minute there. So you're saying you would ask some of your patients as a
Mhm.
pharmacist if you could help them take out their trash.
Yeah.
Well, she was home delivering, so while she was
Yeah,
there
I
at
was
the
home. I was
house,
delivering at their home, and a lot of them are elderly. So
yeah,
Good thing.
why not do anything that? And I made people's beds. Anything that. And a lot of those people didn't have anybody to help them. So,
Right.
and that truly built a community. When you support people like that, that builds a community of people that are very loyal customers, and then their families become loyal customers and stuff like that. But
Absolutely.
yes, I did.
Yeah.
I worked many, many hours. So that's kind of how I got started, truly just to help people. And I thought that there was a need for the industry, just for an innovative mind and a little bit of different spin on independent pharmacy. So that's how I got started. I literally had no expectations or goals going into it, just to help people, which I think is great because it made me be able to pivot and transition to many other fields because I didn't have those in mind. Um, and so 2 years in, I opened our compounding lab, which, if you know anything about compounding, it's a very hard industry to get into, and nobody gives you a book on how to. So it's everything you got to figure out. And it took me every bit of 2 years of classes and experience and writing SOPs and a lot of hard work to open that compounding lab.
Okay, you using an acronym there. SOPs. You got to help your audience understand what
Policies and
SOP is.
procedures,
Okay.
not the not fun stuff, in my opinion. And that all got created because I went to lunch with a friend and she had a doctor that came to our lunch and she was opening her practice and she said, "Hey, we would love to do hormones. So would you be open to doing a compounding lab in your pharmacy?" And I was like, how hard could it be? Sure. I learned. I learned how hard it is. It's a very hard industry, very hard.
don't some of
Um,
the wholesalers have kind of schools or classes on compounding? Like, I know down in Houston, the PCCA, right? They've got a really
yep.
good little educational lab there.
Yeah, I went to many of those classes, and
Okay,
some in California. But still, you have to like truly figure everything out for yourself. They can give you a little bit of help, but no one tells you how to truly do it.
right.
Um, so that was
So
kind
Did,
of
did
my
you
start
did
into
you
the
like
comp.
did you like that figuring out? So are you
Oh, I'm a logical
curious?
thinker to the
Okay.
core. Logic problems are my favorite. So that is trying to figure out everything and how to put I always consider things a puzzle. And so I got to put the pieces together. Same thing I've kind of rolled into functional medicine, like every individual is a puzzle. And I truly just try to fit the pieces together. But backing up a couple of years after doing the compounding lab and starting to do bioidentical hormones, more doctors would call me like, how do I dose this? How do I do this? And I was like, well, I'm going to figure that out too. So that led to a lot of additional schooling and a lot of classes to be able to dose bioidenticals. And then once I started doing that and dosing patients, they were asking more questions. Well, you fixed this piece of my life. Can you fix my gut? And I was like, well, how hard could that be? So then that led to 5 more years of school and 3 more degrees, which my husband is not convinced I'm stopping anytime soon on degrees, but he would love for me to stop. But that's kind of how I got started into like the evolution of the hormones and women's health and functional medicine.
So package what you do now for us.
Yeah. So I think that
and also add what you get out. Yeah, so you get your problem solving, you like that. But what other reward do you get out of that work now, Dr. Josie?
Well, when I thought I was helping patients, I was helping patients with maybe like their stressors and mental load. Now I'm truly helping patients feel completely differently. And that is what I get out of it because it's solving way more problems than just taking out the trash. You know what I mean? It's truly helping people feel vitality again and feel better and not have the symptoms that they're having when they come to me. So that's what I get out of it, and how I truly look at mostly females, helping females, because I don't think there's a lot of sources for females with all of the problems that roll around with hormones. And I get a lot of that through all outlets of media and patients coming in too.
You know, Tim really likes those compound questions, so you got to pay attention. He wants to make sure that
well, I'm talking to a compounding pharmacist, and
that's right.
That's right. Questions there.
Perfect fit.
That's right.
Yeah. See what you did there, Tim. So I just have one question for you though, and that is, did you always know you wanted to go into pharmacy or even wellness and healthcare? When did that urge come to light for you?
Yeah, so in high school we had a program called Medical Explorers, and we could kind of follow all different types of healthcare practitioners around. And I kind of had it in my mindset of either a doctor or a pharmacist. And I went to one of those Medical Explorers, and they were taking out something that included blood and pus, and I was like, this is not for me. So I chose the pharmacist route.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. So what motivates you on challenging days? And you're such a positive person, Dr. Josie. Do you ever have a challenging day?
Oh, I have many challenging days. Actually, I would say every day of owning your own pharmacy is a challenge. Like there's no days that you go like, oh, this was an easy day. And trying to find solutions for those challenges, like the PBMs that we're facing right now, is not always an easy answer or a clear-cut answer. And so I would say what keeps me motivated or positive, the fact that we're still alive after 12 years and independents, are really struggling right now. So being able to pivot and say, okay, was this the right decision? Looking at all angles of it, like that's what's kind of kept me motivated, because I feel like things are very in the changing front right now. And being able to see that and kind of roll with it has been one of my greatest strengths, I would say. And so just keep the ball rolling every single day is what kind of keeps me coming back.
Yeah. And for our listening audience, another acronym was thrown out. In pharmacy, there's a ton of acronyms. PBM stands for Pharmacy Benefit Manager. And not to turn this into a PBM reform episode of another podcast that I host, but they are evil. And they are putting our independents out of business. And so, that's a daily struggle for any independent.
But they also now have a commercial on why they are good, if you have seen that.
Haven't seen that one yet.
They somebody goes to the counter and they say, I'm with Chase, I'm a PBM, I help you lower your drug cost. And I was just like, what is happening?
You face those challenges, you wrestle them, and you've kept going with that, stayed motivated. So in addition to those day-to-day challenges, do you have a dream project or a dream goal for yourself right now?
Yes. Dream goal would be a full functioning women's clinic with primary care providers and being able to address every part of a woman's journey from, adolescence, even into perimenopause, menopause, cycling, fertility, like all of that. So to open that is one of my dreams right now.
That's a great goal, and I know you're well on your way getting there with the steps that you're taking with your functional health side of your practice. So it's not just a compounding pharmacy, not just a retail pharmacy, but now also getting into the clinical side too. So congratulations to all of your success. I know it's a lot of work, but thank you, for doing what you do, especially for women's health in your area. And
Yes, thank you.
people can find you at Phillips Family Pharmacy.
And mostly on Instagram at Functional Farm D Josie.
Okay. Functional Farm D Josie. Well, now we have some rapid fire questions for you, and this is just fun, a little
Okay.
Preferences, so it's really easy. All right. Are you
Okay.
more of an early bird or a night owl?
Early, for sure.
Early bird. Okay. And do you prefer the mountains or the beach?
Ooh, I love the sounds of the beach, but I would take the mountains.
Okay.
I don't like the sand.
And do you prefer coffee, tea, or something else?
Ooh, something else. I do like teas, and herbal teas, but not like caffeinated.
So what is your go-to drink then?
Aminos.
Okay.
Aminos with hydration. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So just proper hydration, electrolytes, and amino acids. Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, we sure look forward to having you on the podcast next week, Dr. Josie, and look forward to diving in a little deeper with you. And for everyone listening, that is live every Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's 1 p.m. Pacific time. And remember, wellness, it's in you.